Hey, what's up family? Austin here. I just got back from a really great 2-week trip in Europe. I was able to see some great friends, fly in Annecy. I did my 4th SIV there with Seiko and Charles at Air Links Academy. I got to fly once at Interlaken, which was gorgeous, and just travel around. So I had a great time. First day back, Jack's World on Instagram asked me to come fly with them, and Arash and a few other guys, XC. So I was really excited to do that.
All right, getting ready to launch Grandeur here with the boys. Real good. Flying to the point.
We decided to fly Grandeur to the north side, and I had not flown this site before, so I was really excited to fly with these guys. I've never flown XC with them before, really, and it was my first time at Grandeur, so that was really new, and also with some great pilots, so it felt really exciting to be with such talent. You know, Arash is just really talented at reading the weather, knowing what's going on, and preparing for each flight. So, you know, I really get to lean on him for the weather forecasting, things like that. Jack's a great pilot. He's been flying tandems at Telluride all summer long, and yeah, just excited for the whole thing. But you know, I just came back from Europe, and whenever I travel with my paraglider, I move my electronics around. I don't want to check my walkie-talkie and GPS, for example, and I just, you know, 24 hours before this flight, I was in Paris, so still pretty jet lagged, still a little bit off my game, and I did not prepare well for this flight. You know, I had just one small bottle of water, an orange, and most importantly, I didn't have my GPS backup, and I didn't have my inReach. So out of cell phone reception, it would have been really difficult to get a hold of people. So I was kind of putting the group at risk, putting myself at risk by not having that essential safety equipment. I also didn't have my walkie-talkie. I left that here in the office, so that was really disappointing. I knew that was the case when I got to launch, just because, you know, usually I keep all that stuff in my paragliding kit, but when you travel, you know, you move things around, and that's one lesson I've learned, is that maybe before you leave the office for an XC flight, you go through every step, every piece of kit, everything that you're gonna need and want on that trip, so that you don't, you know, cause a potential risk for yourself and other people. So that was one lesson I learned early on at this trip. That being said, I told the guys, you know, if I bomb out, I'll drive the car back. So I was kind of thinking, you know, I'm not going to go deep. If they go deep, I'm not going to go and, you know, put myself really deep back where I might not be able to get out and not be able to communicate. So that was kind of how I went into it. I knew these guys were good, so I was thinking I'd follow them. I didn't have radio, so hopefully I'd just be able to kind of use sign language and body language and figure it out. The site was awesome. It's a 20 to 30 minute hike up, just east of Salt Lake City, and we all laid out. Arash took off first. You know, he knows what he's doing. Waited for a cycle to come through, and it took him straight up. So I was letting Jack go next. He had a tension knot in one of his lines, so he ended up putting it back down and having to work out the tension knot, and so I decided to step in and give it a go. So I took off, and you know, the Psycho was just a great goal. Went straight up and started thermaling above launch, and it was great. We had some nice thermals ripping up the ridge here, and it was pretty consistent, pretty smooth. You won't hear any beeping because I was using an earpiece, and just the Fly Sky High app on my phone as a variometer, and I didn't have an extra battery, so I didn't get to videotape the entire flight, which I'm really bummed about. I did get some cool things on this flight though. I got a small frontal that I had, frontal deflation. I got some cloud soaring, and that's about it. The camera got cold and the batteries don't last long when that happens. So usually I have this nice external battery pack, but I did on this flight. And so I was really being cautious of my phone as well. And the batteries on that were running low. So I had to take it and put it inside of my little cockpit area because yeah, I just needed to save the batteries, and if the phone is warmer, the batteries last a lot longer. So that's what I did there. I didn't get to take as many photos as I would have wanted to, but yeah, I was just kind of surprised the whole flight. It was really fun. We were thermaling together, you know, 3 of us. We're thermaling together for a lot of the climbs, which is just, you know, it's hard to describe how much fun that is. It wasn't a real difficult XC. I thought it would be more challenging. We were able to get high. I mean, we weren't that high. I think the highest my phone said was like 10,200 feet, which I didn't think was that high. I thought we'd get a little higher than that, but you know, we just thermal up the peaks and then we push across on bar. One time I got sucked into a cloud, or you know, I thermaled up into a cloud, and I was kind of near some other people, so I spiraled out of it. And you know, it was just nice to feel comfortable and confident with the equipment and the skills to get up and to get down when I wanted. Beautiful scenery, you know, you can see from the footage here, it's just really epic and gorgeous, and you know, it's all new to me. So this whole mountain flying is, I don't know, I probably say this a lot, but it's kind of like a game changer. You know, you're flying in the mountains, you're super high, you're touching the clouds, you're thermaling with birds, you're thermaling with your friends, you can see forever. It's kind of like, I don't know, maybe like graduating from college and you soon can apply to a bunch of jobs that you never could before, or something like that. You know, your opportunities just open up. So yeah, the flight went really well. The only problem I had really was a small deflation, frontal deflation, as I was trying to climb Olympus. We pushed across and we had kind of a northeast flow, and but we were on the shaded side of Olympus, and so we're climbing that, and we kind of pushed to the west side of Olympus to go around it. And I think maybe the sun from the southern side of Olympus along with the northeast flow created some turbulence, or like multiple thermals that created some downdrafts in between. And when my wing went through, I hit a little bit of a frontal, which I caught. You know, you can see it. I definitely caught it, and then went hands up, and you know, waited for the wing to inflate, because when it happened, it deflates and it goes behind you. And I was kind of expecting it because I could feel the air being a little bit bumpy. So I'm watching it, and I see it deflate and feel it. I pump the brakes, and then I go back to hands up just to keep the shape of the wing, you know, open. And I wait for myself to kind of fall underneath it, and I keep pressurizing the wing like this. I think Santa Croce calls it like insurance, you know, just keep pumping the wing, because you're able to catch that, and if there's another deflation, you're ready for it. So I'm kind of riding the brakes a little bit, but you know, right after that, I'm in the thermal, and I think there's just a couple thermals, and in between thermals there was some major downdraft. But then thermals right back up, back out. Get high, push across, get high, push across, you know. It's really fun. It's a fun game. Here I am thermally in the clouds. I think I'm following a Roche here. And my glider on trim with no speed bar, I think is fast or faster than the Sigma 10 and the Explorer. You know, I'm on a Phantom and I'm heavy on it. I'm maybe 5 kilograms over the limit, but you know, I really like it heavy. It flies really well, and it's fast. On bar, I think the Sigma 10 might have me beat, or have like a better glide ratio. But just at trim, this thing really cooks.
What's up? First flight from Grandeur all the way back to the north side. Huge smile on my face. Got a Rosh right down here. I don't know if you can see him. We made it together. I don't know where Jack went. A couple other guys turned back, but
yeah, so that was the flight. It took about 2 hours exactly. Actually, it took exactly 2 hours to complete. Arash and I landed in the north side LZ right as the first group were kind of catching a cycle to bench up. So as they were going up, we were coming down, and it just felt really good. Can't wait for the next one. Hope you enjoy watching. Let me know if you have any questions or you'd like to see more of these 360 videos. I don't know how fun they are to watch, but you know, I like making them, and I hope they're helpful. All right, see you later.